Bloody hell, guys, what happened in these three games? A new record for the Eagles, 66-0 for their franchise to come out with that crazy game like that. And obviously, the outside backs are going to have an absolute killer. So, Ruben Garrick, 2 tries, Saab, 3, Trebojevic, 3. I actually really love watching Saab play. I'd love to see that race between him and Adokar. Saab looks like he'd be quicker. I don't know, he just seems to just glide down the sideline so quickly. And then Tommy just knows where to be just to get the tries on the inside. So Garrick continues to be one of the better wingers in the game. And I suppose the more times that the Manly boys play these lesser teams, the more chance that Garrick's going to do really well. So, yeah, you're going to be taking the good and the bad. Obviously, when they win like this, he's going to get the goals as well as the tries. So, and there's going to be games where he gets like a 30 or 20 odd against one of the better sides in a Storm or a Penrith or something like that. But obviously, this year with the disparity, you can see that less or more than half of the teams, these top teams will smash. So interesting one for Gary. He'll be up over 700k after this. So that's that. But yeah, those three guys there. If you have any of them, you've done well. Trebojevic, another 75. Played the full 80. I thought he might get an early mark, but maybe just he's like, I'm having too much fun. Leave me out of here, boss. But yeah, you got that there. Tommy, if you like, I personally don't have him still. I'll be getting him after Origin. DCE 68. So if you went him over Hughes, you got you improved by about 18 points there, which is good. And how good was Sipley? Sipley was 68 and his 34 minutes was awesome. I think it was 52 points in 12 minutes at one stage. So, an awesome couple of tries there for him, which was great. And then you have Carl Lawton with 57. If you still own him, you've done really well. You've gained a fair bit of cash. You've got some good scores, averaging 54. So, one of the stronger back rowers in the game, especially. But you've got him in the hooking position, and if you've done that this whole time, you've done pretty well. The other interesting ones here are Jackson. So, a lot of people are talking about Jackson as a potential option. 50 tackles, 119 meters. You can't really complain there. Got the dual position. Did score better than Thompson and a lot of the other possible options. So Tapau was an option in this game, which he didn't have the chance to do as well, just with how how much they had the ball. But yeah, we'll talk about that in a second. Lockie Crowcar still doing great things, playing really well. I think obviously in a winning team, everyone's going to look like they're playing much better. But scoring wise, got some nice try assists. Pretty much scored him. He scored himself, but slightly lost the ball. Like he could have had a really big score. Yeah, hold him until 17 and move on from there. Olakwatu has done really well after that. He had one good game to start, and a couple of quiet ones, and then it's been really good since. And good gets a bunch of tackle breaks. Good in the air. A couple of tries here and there. So 51 for him was really cool. Dylan Walker playing some really good footy off the bench, which is great. He's going to be a really good option for them heading towards the rest of the season. Yeah, Murray Tapau just didn't get to make enough tackles and no attacking stats at all. So if you picked him up, I wouldn't stress too much. You get him for next week and should have a big one from there. All right, Marshall King. So he didn't play the full 80 minutes, 41 points. This is kind of the reason I'm talking about these types of guys like Marshall King. They have a few good games, but is it worth picking them up? I don't think so. Going forward, is he going to be a keeper by the end of the year? No. Well, look at his average, 46. Is that keeper level numbers? It's not. So try not to touch him. How does Harper just not get any tries, the poor bloke? Why? Where's he when Saab goes down the sideline? Surely is he not quick enough to even get close to it, or Tommy's just knows exactly where to be? You expect it down the sideline and then pass back into Harper, but he just never gets those tries. But to get 41 without really doing too much, a couple of turnover tackles was good. Is nice for him. 60 minutes for Thompson, only 6 in the negatives, but just less tackles for someone in the middle, which was strange when they were tackling the whole game. So yeah, a bit of a lower game. I wouldn't stress too much, but looks like Jackson was slightly the better option this week. Kepi had a pretty solid game in defence, especially. Hetherington just gives away too many penalties, as always. Avery so yeah, I suppose there was never much chance of him doing too much. Good thing was he still kicked for 320 metres, which means he's going to be the dominant kicker in this squad with Flanagan still there. So made 100 metres, 10 tackles. I suppose it's just a bit of a nothing game. We'll cop that from your centre. That's for sure when your team gets smashed. So for him to beat the center in the other team when they scored 66 points is a decent sign. But yeah, of course I pick him up. He gets 48 and 31 after getting like 100, 75, 80. Just standard practice. But he should be fun going forward. They won't play Manly every week. I spoke about Torpenny. Just again, the team got smashed. 23 tackles, no misses is fine, but didn't really run the ball. wasn't really a great option in the end. Probably a bit too expensive too, 367. Flanagan didn't do too much. Obviously, a great tip on into Jason Saab's hands for a try. It was nice. That's about it, guys. Corey Allen with 0 in his 80 minutes, and Benny Trebojevic with -3 in his 14. So that's that for that game. Move on to the Titans and the Raiders, and God, the Titans were good. Raiders were not very good at all. Just looked like I was watching for a point there, and they just went sideways run. Like their big forwards were just running sideways. I'm like, yeah, that's gonna get you a quick play the ball and get you down the field further and in try scoring opportunities, won't it? Not. For Feeder, low minutes, 49 minutes. Had sin binned and then got taken off. So I suppose didn't need him to do too much after playing Origin and stuff the week before. So did what he needed to do. Got a try, a couple of line breaks, 14 tackle breaks. He's incredible. Fogs, how good was that one? 96. It's good to see him have these really high games because he does get some 30s to 40s. So yeah, when he gets a try, when they play well, he's going to score amazingly. He's going to need the try assist, the random try, the goals, kick meters, obviously, and he seems to run the ball a bit more too. So yeah, if you don't own him, then I wouldn't be picking him up. But if you do, you're holding steady for probably the rest of the year as a goal. If he can average 54 plus, he's up there with like the Moses and Munster category, which is cool. Mo Fodawaker, someone I spoke about as a possible option, like 18, 19. I think his minutes need to be up a little bit more, like the 60, 65 for him to score really well. But yeah, 8 tackle breaks and a try. Good stuff for him. Paddy Herbert, Kelly, the two centers did really well. Both still not options, not going to play the Raiders every week. Papali'i was decent. I don't think many people have him though. Brimson with 48. I think a lot of people will just go rid of him by this stage. Taylor actually had a decent game, 50, with only 1 try assist, so much better across the board for him. Harrower and Ira, so 46. He kind of was really low the whole game and then picked up at the end with a lot of tackles and a few tackle breaks, which was good. Just not running the ball as much, but then again, they didn't have the ball that much because they were getting beat. So we'll take his 46, but I'm worried that he's a keeper. I don't think he is, just with the way they've been playing. Like, I think when Raiders are doing okay, they had a few decent games there when he was used as a focal point, got a few tries and stuff like that, then I think it worked. But when they're not playing well, he's just not going to use hands on the ball as much. They're just going to go through the middle. Yeah, you got the outside backs doing their thing, but yeah, that's about it with him. Heading down the line, Rapana. Not many people have him. Tarpany, Fasil Malaawi, I should say. I used to say that all the time. Corey Thompson with his return game was completely fine. Surprised he didn't score a try. He's always in the try scoring, especially at the start of the year. I think got Starling doing his thing. Peachy, that's the one we're going to talk about. Wow. Come on as a hooker replacement, hey, for 25 minutes. Geez, who expected that? He was named in 13 jersey, gets moved back to the bench, and you're like, yeah, his role doesn't change. He came on and scored 50 over the last few weeks off the bench, and then comes on and just makes 8 tackles for 2 misses, 1 run. Wow, 4. Our people squad were absolutely killing it until this, so thankfully I don't have him in my personal team because he's going to be a bit of a worry the next few weeks as to what role he's going to play. If they name the same type of team, will he play the same role? And there's every chance that he does. It obviously didn't matter. Like this week they won with him playing that role, but strange. I do like him through the middle. He was putting on a few. Like last week he put on a few tries for him and stuff. So it's really strange situation there. Let's monitor that over the week. But if he's going to be playing this role going forward, then he's like an instant sell. The only issue is they don't play around 17, so you kind of got to sit on it for another week or two. So that's that one there. And we move on to the last game. I don't really want to talk about this one too much because it's the Knights and they smashed my Cowboys. But let's talk about my main man, Connor Watson. Wow. 86, what a legend. 2 tries off the bench. He only played 47 minutes too, so less than previous weeks. 2 tries, a line break assist, 38 tackles, 7 tackle breaks. No negatives apart from one, -4 with penalty and a missed tackle. So he was awesome if you held on strong. I think it was closer to 50% owned, and now he's about 33. Yeah. So a lot of people have sold him over the last few weeks. I don't see the real need. You got the hooker in mid-dual, averaging 50. He was 50 at the time. Wasn't that expensive. It's not like you're trying to get rid of him at 700k while he's still hot. But yeah. Anyway, they look like a much better team when Ponga plays, don't they? 64 in his time on the park. 5 minutes early mark as well. 2 tries, 2 try assists. He's just special to watch, isn't he? We love Ponga when he's out there playing, doing his thing. Especially with him and Pierce on the team, they're a much better squad, but they definitely still need some help. Tamalolo, much better game from him. Just consistent, no negatives. 57 minutes for 60. Just what we needed, just what the doctor ordered, ready to go for round 17. I think he might be a buy. It's a really, really cheap price, 200k under price from where he started last year. Obviously less minutes, but I think he's definitely a 700k plus player. He can average mid to low 50s. I think it'll be sweet. Dom Young, couple of tries, but let's not talk about him. He's not going to be an option. Drinky, 591, solid. 55 in his time in the park. Just did a bit of everything, especially in a team that got smashed. You'll take that. Same with Robson. Clemmer and Pierce, solid scores. Pierce didn't have to kick as much as they were just making so many meters. So 47 for him with 2 try assists. Didn't really do anything wrong. You're happy with that if you got him in your squad. But he obviously doesn't play next week, so keep that in mind. Brayley, if you're still holding him, let's say he's a 45 to 50 point player max now. Did run the ball a lot more, 83 meters, which was good, but overall, not great. Might be time to move on very shortly. Tommy Dearden, 45, so another solid score. He's just getting a bit too expensive now. If you haven't got him by now, I think at 450, 460, where he's going to be next week, is probably too high, I think, to pick him up as an option. I'd rather go for a cash out rather than someone who's going to make a little bit of cash and score decent, especially when Cowboys aren't playing that well. Last couple, we got Kyle Felt, not many people have. Hamiso, same thing. Kurt Mann, most people would have moved him on by now. Val Holmes at 24, so again, just not in that top echelon of wing fullbacks. Jarvid Bowen, if you had him as a cash cow, one more week, 17, move him on after that, because you'll be able to get him closer to 400, which will be good. Lukey, for anyone who picked him up, 17 in the 30, and then Talangi. So if you've still got Talangi, I think, hold one more week and then move him on. Brody Jones, again, this is what happens with him. Going to be up and down into the starting side, back to the bench, and just never really going to make a lot of money. So that's a little lesson to learn for a lot of people there. So that's the 3 games for the week, guys. Let me know what you thought of those 3. What do you thought of those games? They're just 3 real smashings, which isn't as fun to watch unless you go for those teams, is it? So let me know where you're at in terms of your total points and how many you've got left for the day. I think team's actually gone all right with Toyo as captain. Everyone else has done really well. So I think I'm 841 with 3 to go. Johnson, Laurie, Lucy Leilua. So if they all have a good game, I think I'll gain some ranks this week, which is interesting, even with such a crappy captain. So if only I did for feed up. But anyway, let me know what you thought of this one, guys. Please like, subscribe. Really appreciate it. And we'll go from there. Have a good one, team. Bye-bye.